Watching a stream with a guy who's got kind of long hair. Does anyone care? All the Loki people, where do they all come from? All the Loki people, in the stream where they belong. Hey everybody, let's see if the sound works. Yep, okay, so we got sound. Good, very nice. So yeah, it's Monday. I'm already seeing the chat is in full effect. Hi Chris, hi Brianna, hi Nana, hi Zoe, hi Ibito, hi Christina, hi Carol, hi Yael, hi Brianna, hi there to Julissa, and hi Silver Sky Dragon, hi Polar Bear King. Hey everybody. So Chris isn't gonna make it today. That's unfortunate. Cheetos. I might not make it, but say Cheetahs Cheetos. 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 There you go. 10 times fast. I did it. We got it under control. Nana has a question mark. I want to see what will happen when he says 10. Okay. Hey Zoe, not much is going on. We're just doing a stream, no big deal. Eating. I'm eating ice cream for Snake. I don't know what that means. Have you heard of a song called Under Pressure? I have. That's David Bowie. Under pressure. Under pressure. People on the streets. 800 years. Able to get all the important stuff out. Yeah, so Notre Dame is, I guess a fire started, and that's terrible. Further reinforcing the fact that everything ends. No matter how hard we try, eventually entropy destroys every piece of matter on the planet and in the universe. So, you know, we enjoy things while they last, because eventually life finds a way, and so does death, and nature finds a way to destroy things. So Notre Dame, you know, they'll rebuild it, and it'll be a slightly different version of itself after this point, or whatever they do with it. Maybe they won't, but I bet they will. So it's a real shitty thing to watch happen. I'm sure that place is absolutely full of priceless historical artifacts and stuff, but you know, all it takes is one spark to start a fire, and there you are. Wondering how the fire started. So were they. Really sad. Emily can see Notre Dame burning from her window. That's heartbreaking. How bad is it? Paris. Probably all over the news. It is all over the news. Still on fire. Less than there. Okay. Fourth. Never gonna be the same. Stupid window is stuck open because my mom probably took the pliers I used to open and close my window. Plus it's gonna rain. Brianna, I think I love that more than I should, because I too grew up in a house where you just needed certain things to do certain things. Sometimes you need a pair of pliers to open some windows. In my case, it was we had a TV, and back a few decades ago, you never knew what a television was gonna look like, and we had a television that was so old it had wood grain around the side of it, not like a wooden cabinet built around it. I'm talking about like the plastic that surrounded the perimeter of the TV was like the side of an old Chevy station wagon. It had like wood grain printed on it, and in order to turn it on, there was a dial, and you didn't turn the dial, you pulled on it. So to turn the TV on, you pull a little knob, and then to change the channel, you click the knob. So one day somebody decided, I don't know if it was me or my brother or my parents or what, somebody decided to turn the TV off by kicking that little knob, and they punched it right back into the face of the television. So then the knob itself broke off, and there was just this little plastic nub inside a hole. And in order to turn the TV on, you had to get a pair of pliers, stick it in the hole, grab the little nub, pull out. And that was my life as a young boy, turning on and off the TV. Well, turning it on with the pliers, but then once it was on, you could stick your finger in the hole and push it off. So I feel your pain with the pliers, needing to open the windows with the pliers. Cross inside. Is there a famous cross inside the Notre Dame? I'm gonna get cheesecake. Go get cheesecake, Brianna. Hopefully burn down. Apparently the main part is safe. Hey, Julissa. Okay. Silver Sky Dragon says hi. Yeah. I volunteered at my library Saturday. I made some paper flowers and then got a big confetti and a smaller confetti. That's cool. Amada's been volunteering at a local animal shelter called Best Friends in Los Angeles, north of Los Angeles, and yeah, she's been having a good run of it, and I'm sort of like, I should do some volunteering too, but I'm too lazy. I end up doing too much volunteering for NerdBot already, although it's not the best charitable cause. It's a hobby. What's your favorite type of flower? Polar Bear King? I like calla lilies. They're so simple. They're just one big petal. And they're really easy to draw. Just like a little trumpet shape that folds over itself. I like calla lilies and roses. I'm pretty standard with flowers. I like tulips. I like big chunky petals on flowers. But overall, I would never want to take care of flowers, so don't send them to me. Hey Manon, did I say hi to Emmy? Hi Emmy, and hi Emily, if I didn't say hi to you before. Watching Yu Yu Hakusho, is it Hakusho? Yu Yu Hakusho. Hi Nolan, I'm glad you tune in, you're halfway tuning in, even though you're watching a different thing at the same time. How excited are you about Avengers Endgame? Have you seen Game of Thrones Season 8? Heidi, I have not watched past like Season 1 of Game of Thrones, so I'm way behind. And I do not want to talk about Game of Thrones because I listened to the audiobooks for like books 1 through 4 or whatever, and so I know kind of what happens up to a point, but not enough. Okay. Did you see the new Hellboy? And if so, what did you think? I did not. I'm not interested in it, honestly. I thought the first few Hellboy movies were good enough that they could stand on their own without needing a remake. And that new one doesn't look that good. It looks like it's a little up its own ass. It's a little out to kind of be the newer, better version. And it's like, no, why don't you just continue with what you were doing before? It was, you know, it wasn't like super dark or grungy or anything, and it worked. Hey Olivia, thank you. Hearing Under Pressure. You are Zoe. Someone was asking about Under Pressure. I think it was you. Comic-Con is in 12 days, Brianna. It is in 12 days. They ruled out arson. Well, it looked like there was scaffolding all over the top of the building. Could it have just been somebody taking a smoke break? One of the construction workers who was working on whatever was going on at Notre Dame? Who knows? We'll find out soon. Zoe asks, how is the baby? Oh, the cat. I was like, I don't have a baby. Don't ask me about no babies. Let's see if we can find her back there. You can see all the shit on my coffee table. There she is. Yeah, she's too tired. She's back there sleeping on a couch like a little tiny head, little tiny tiger baby. So that's where she's at. Hearing Under Pressure. Is Amada on the stream? No, she is not. Not today. Turning on a TV with pliers sounds dangerous. Brianna, I don't think there was any exposed metal to be touched, but it certainly wasn't the most convenient thing in the world. There was no remote for it, for sure. My first TV for the family in 9 was so big, I could fit on two. It could fit on 2 queen-sized mattresses. It was so big, it could fit on 2 queen-sized mattresses. So that's one of those projection screens. Back then, when you wanted a big screen TV, you needed this giant monolith in your living room that if you weren't standing directly in front of it and you moved too far to the left or right, the picture would start becoming invisible. You would just see a blank screen with like slightly moving shapes on it. Projection screens were the worst. I hated those things. And they were real dark. They just weren't any good. And then they started coming out with like the big LCDs that were still giant. They were still giant boxes. And then they started coming out with the flat screens that weren't all that flat. And now TVs are like a piece of paper that you can just stick up on your wall. It's like a poster you put up and then your little plug runs off of it. Hey Fangirl Nation. Polar Bear King retracted something. It was the 80s. Black pandas are leaving CA at the end of April. I don't know what's going on with the black pandas. Are there panda bears in California? What's your favorite animal? Asks Polar Bear King. Favorite animal? I like a dog. I mean, realistically, I like a dog. Well, how much better can you get than a good, real good boy? Because they're just all good boys, like, and we've helped them become the best boys out there, and that's nice. So I like dogs. I like a small furry land mammal. Really, I'll talk to a cat any day of the week. A chinchilla. A stoat. I like the word stoat. Like a weasel. A eel monkey. Baboon snake. I don't know. Let's say dog. I like it. I mean, I could say my favorite animal is like a tiger, but at the end of the day, if I could be put in a room with a tiger or a dog, I'm going to take the dog. Because I like those guys. I like them from top to bottom. Nose to tail. Straight up. Have you ever seen the new... I did. I saw the new Star Wars trailer. It looked pretty cool. That showdown at the very beginning of it is pretty intense, and I look forward to seeing how that ends up coming to be. Great-grandfather had one, gave it to my mom. It's a great anime. It's all on Hulu. Yeah, I've heard of Yu Yu Hakusho. I've never actually seen it, though. Can I send a piece of fan art? Of course you can, Olivia. If you look below this video in the description and you hit the Show More button, there's a P.O. Box address. There is, so you can send fan art there. Yeah, so do that. And I'll be happy to show it to everybody. By the way, I don't check the P.O. Box unless people tell me something's in it. So if you guys have been sending things to the P.O. Box, like, it's definitely been sitting there for the past, like, month or two. Ever since, we lost a couple people to the police academy. So, we haven't been getting much fan art or anything. He's planning to go to Anime Pasadena, but if they don't get the transport back, it doesn't look like I'm going. I booked tickets and I made my costume. I was going to go to Anime Pasadena, but if they don't get the transport back, what transport, Emily? If Anime Pasadena needs to get something back, or is there a train line that's not running right now? Who knows? What's your favorite Comic-Con? What was your favorite Comic-Con with ThorTV? We had a really good year, probably 2014 or 15. That was the year somebody took the picture of us eating breakfast, and it got really crazy popular. We also got to be on the news for a little while that year. We just got a lot of good photos, and we really made a weekend out of it, which we haven't been doing. And even alone, I haven't been doing as much. Like, so I miss the days when we would really, like, do Comic-Con as hard as we could. And now I'm at the point where I'm just like, I'll show up on Saturday for an hour and then I'm leaving because I'm too easily fatigued by cons. But yeah, I think it was Comic-Con 2015, San Diego Comic-Con. But I mean, we've had a lot of fun at a lot of different ones. Even like some of the Long Beach Comic-Cons. NerdCon was a lot of fun when that existed. But you know, we were busy hosting that, so we didn't really get to experience it from the point of view of someone attending it. It was awesome. Thinking about forming a band called Motley Cruisin'. What? Okay, good, like a tribute band. Final Star Wars. What would happen if Amada came in and had a dog or multiple dogs? I mean, I'd pet those dogs for sure. I'm not ready to own a dog, but I'd certainly say hi to those dogs. Come on now. I respect that about Game of Thrones. Hard. I recommend Poldark to watch. It's a remake of 1970s version, but it's brilliant. Handmaid's Tale is also worth watching. Yeah, I only have Netflix. I don't have access to any of that stuff. Polar Bear King. Snake. Zoe likes snakes. Not a big fan of snakes. Night Manager. Damn. Yeah, Night Manager. A lot of sex in that. I have missed so many of your live streams because of my old phone decided to stop working, but I finally have a new one. Hopefully you've been fine. I have, Emmy, and I'm glad you could make it back. I'm happy you have a working phone. Seems like a more and more crucial possession to have these days. Some dogs are bad. My granddad had a neighbor with a dog that hated me, and my aunt for some unknown reason. Yeah, I mean, Christy, I'm not gonna say like every single dog in the universe is the best dog in the world, because they can't all be the best boys. Some of them have bad lives, and some of them just don't have the best temper. But still, I'll take my chances with a dog over a lion or a tiger any day of the week, or even a hawk or a wallaby or whatever. Favorite animals are lions and polar bears. Do you have a favorite dog breed? I hate to say it, I like a golden retriever. They're good boys and they like to smile. I like those guys. I like corgs. I like shepherds a lot, German shepherds. I mean, I like a big sturdy dog. Little dogs are cool too, but I like a bigger dog. An enormous dog is a little much, but I still hug them for a while. I'm like the grandmother of dogs. Like, I'll babysit your dog for any amount of time, but might not want to get my own dog and have it all the time. No such thing as a dangerous or bad dog. Owners make them that way. Brianna, you know what? I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's really worth trying to split into camps, because it's like there's always an outlier. There's always an anecdote. There's always whatever of like, you know, I had a dog. I gave it everything. I fed it every day. I loved that dog. He was, you know, he just wouldn't ever come around, and he wouldn't warm up to me or anyone. Like, I'm sure there's some dogs that just don't conform to what we expect a dog to be or act like. Doesn't necessarily mean bad, but it might mean not the best pet or not the best companion. So, you know, you do what you can with a dog, but hopefully he's like 99% of other dogs, where he's just a good boy, and you get to hug him a bunch, and then, you know, that's his happy place. Paris is at a standstill, and I don't know how long until it's back. I see, Emily. Polar bear, my dog breed. Wait, were you the one that was saying you were gonna come to anime? Emily, you were gonna come to Anime Pasadena from Paris? That's what you're trying to say? Because if that's the case, like, that's a long way for a one-day convention in Pasadena. Polar bear, my dog breed, large fluffy dog. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I love the dub smash you made with ThorTV. Yeah, and Nolan, I'm sorry we can't keep making those, because dub smash sucks now. It used to be such a good program that was so easy to use, and then it just turned into this like hunk of shit that wouldn't do anything you wanted it to do. Have you heard of Bring Me to Life? Yes. Evanescence. I know that song. What do you think of Kylo Ren? I think he's kind of a jerk, honestly. Seems like he's one of those guys that kills a bunch of people. Not my bag. Not my favorite character type. My brother's Burmese Mountain Dog. Ben Swolo. Emily Berry Sorry. Bernese Mountain Dogs are cute. Lots of slobber. My girlfriend's birthday yesterday. Well, happy birthday to your girlfriend, Starlord. What would you do if you saw BB-8 and R2-D2 rolling down your street? I'd probably look for a guy with a remote control. I might take a picture, But mostly I'd probably just leave them alone, as they'd probably be getting filmed at the moment. I like Scotties. Have you seen those Alaskan Malamutes that are the size of couches? I've seen some big dogs in my time. I'd like to see some more. I'm always down to see more dogs. Tiger equals death, says Brianna. Saw one of those yesterday. I don't know if you will not what that means. Yes. My brother is coming home this week. Oh, well, congratulations, Zoe. I hope you guys have a good reunion. The first 3 seasons of Poldark is on Netflix if you don't need to watch the original version or read the books. That's awesome. Thing about Poldark, it's got awesome actors. You know what I did try to watch that sounds like Poldark is Ozark? And I hated that at first episode. Because it was like, the whole premise is based around just like, criminals can commit crimes all the time, any way they want, and no one ever catches them or even looks into it, because criminals are criminals. So, I don't know what Poldark is about, but chances are I'm not going to try it anytime soon. I'm in the middle of The Office right now. I just started season 4 of The Office. And it's pretty funny. I hated the first few seasons because I hated Michael Scott, but now I'm warming up to it, as it is getting a little less racist. So, yeah, working my way through The Office. I'll be done with that in about a month. I've always wanted to go, spending a week in the USA, visiting places I want to do. Well, sure, Emily. Yeah, you should come to the US, and if you can make it for Anime Pasadena, that's good. Oh, come on, that's good. But you know, don't beat yourself up over it. Fangirl Nation, yeah. If I were to get a dog of my own, I would call it Chaz. Oh man, I got so many good dog names. Do you have a favorite book genre? I like science fiction, Polar Bear King. I like science fiction and fantasy, but I really get into a good piece of science fiction. Like Snow Crash, I gotta find and reread. I like all the Enders books. I like, what other science fiction books are really good? Actually, the prequels to the Ender books. Earth Afire, I think it was called. Earth Unaware. All those are really good books. And then I like a lot of fantasy books, like Game of Thrones, the Song of Ice and Fire. Those were really fun to listen to. Lyriel and the Garth Nix books of those descriptions. All the Harry Potter books, of course, were great. What other books? Oh, Codex Alera and the Dresden Files are also really entertaining. So, yeah, I like all that stuff. I just, you know, I don't get too far into fandom, so it's hard to like kind of discuss it with people, because they'll be like, "Oh, I'm the biggest fan of this shit," and I'm like, "Yeah, all right, that's cool." What if you would have modified BB-8? Yeah, we've already gone over that. I don't know. I feel like both Amada and I kind of have the same. Hey Ace, how's it going? I feel like Amada and I both have the same kind of like outlook on things, where if we see something really interesting, we're happy to look at it, but we don't typically approach it and try to make a thing out of it, because we just don't want to deal with whatever. We don't want to bother anybody. So if we saw 2 droids, we'd be like, oh, those probably belong to somebody. Let's leave them alone in case they're already getting too much attention. Last night I was hunting a mouse with a baseball bat, but I didn't manage to catch it, so I guess it's still somewhere here. I hate them. Oh, Emmy. Killing a mouse with a baseball bat sounds violent. Sounds like maybe a bucket would be a better option. You could just throw that mouse a couple miles away or something. How about a Newfoundland with their giant and... oh, Newfoundland. A Newfoundland! A newfound dog. Yeah, I mean, I like a big dog. I just don't want to own a big dog. Especially not in the place I live in. You're looking at, like, the entirety of it. This is it. This is all, the whole room. Well, my favorite animals are wolves and snakes, 2 of the 3 sons of... Oh, boy. Let's see. They're the goodest boys. They are. What do you think about Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth as a couple? It's cool, I guess. I don't know. I don't know either one of them. So, if they're making it work, good for them. Like, I wish the best to them. You should read Eon. It's a really cool book. Okay, I'll look into that. I take recommendations, and a lot of times they work out for me. If you could have any superpower, what would it be and why? You know, I answer this... I feel like people ask this question all the time, and I would love to be persuasive. I would love to just be a person who could be like, you don't think that, and have the person be like, I don't think that, you're right. And then they'd be like, but you know what I do think? I think this. And I'd be like, you don't think that either. And they're like, oh, you're right again. Because that would be nice, where you wouldn't have to get into any big superhero fights where someone's trying to find your weakness. All you'd have to do is basically get into a very short argument. And they would be like, oh, yeah, okay, I'll do it your way. Like, I think that would be pretty nice. You could just talk your way out of stuff and into stuff and around stuff. That's my favorite imaginary superpower. Anyone seen the Hiddles Conda Tumblr page? Emily, I don't know what you're getting into right now, but I'm not a big fan of where that's going. I'm a dog breed encyclopedia. I'm good. I made since work. Meeting ran way overtime. Good, Ace. I'm glad you could make it. Why do you hate bees so much? Well, Zoe, see, what happened was, when we first started this, people were asking ThorTV and I, like, hey, can I send you this thing? Can I send you this thing? And we got the P.O. box, and we had some other stuff coming in by other means. And, of course, the fear when you start doing stuff like that is, am I going to get something I don't want in the mail? And so, as an example of things we don't want, I'm like, hey, if you want to send us something, send it to this P.O. box address. Maybe don't send us bees, because I used to work at UPS, and one of the crazy things you would see come through UPS was boxes of insects, whether they were crickets or grubs or whatever. And I think you could actually get bees shipped as well. And so I was like, God, I would never want to receive bees, because one, if it ever broke open, you'd end up with bees everywhere. And two, if you don't want those bees, what are you going to do? Send them back? It just means all the bees are going to die. So I was like, hey, don't send me bees. And then that turned into a whole thing about how I hate bees. I don't hate bees. I just think bees belong where bees belong, and I belong somewhere else. Or vice versa. Let's see. Newfies can live in apartments. They don't do much. They love to cuddle. Well, sure, Brianna, but sometimes I'm gone for a few days at a time, and you know, having a big dog you got to take care of. Even just a place to have it take a shit. Like, my neighborhood is not great for taking a dog for a walk. There's broken bottles. There's, you know, there's chemicals on the ground. People don't take care of this neighborhood very well, and if a dog shits and I don't have the plastic bag to pick it up, then I end up with like a 5-pound shit burger, and that's a tough thing to reach down, take a deep breath, and pick it up on your own. So I'm gonna leave the dog ownership for a while until I have my own yard where I can clean up dog shit at my own leisure. Conda, heard about this, and wow, how about toy bees? Fangirl Nation, I don't have any particular enthusiasm for bees either way. So if you want to start like a joke of like, hey, I'm gonna send a bunch of toy bees to Bill. You know, it's your wallet. You can do what you want with it, and I'm happy to open up a box with a toy bee in it. However, you're not, you know, I'm not gonna be one of these people that's like, now I'm gonna make a bee motif for my entire home. Like, it's gonna be put in the place where I put all the things that I don't ever end up looking at again, and that'll be where the bees end up. All the bee joke gifts. You can also be sent Mexican jumping beans. Yeah, that's another insect thing. They're beans, but they have insects inside of them that are trying to escape. I don't need that, Emily. What about a plushie of a bee? Sure. Send whatever you want, guys. All of the stuffed animals and plushies that I've ever gotten end up under my bed in my cat's little micro apartment. She's got a little tiny space where she can go and retreat, and there's a bunch of pillows and stuff down there. And eventually they get moldy because I don't clean it out nearly enough. So that's what happens to all the stuffed animals. I hope Loki comes back in the Avengers 4 movie. Yeah, Star-Lord, I think we're all kind of hoping for a lot of characters to come back, so we'll see what you think. I can't actually... there's something I want to talk about with the Avengers premiere, but I can't yet. I haven't gotten clearance to talk about it, so I guess you'll have to wait and see. On your last video, you ask how you pronounce my name. Name is Rocha, C-H Mac. Juan F. Rocha. It is Rocha, okay. Fangirl Nation only has 10 cents. Oh, that's not good. Zoe wants to know, am I scared of bees? I mean, I don't love bugs. Even like a ladybug, it's kind of gross having one crawl on me. Not a big fan of it. I can handle it. And then the bees got stingers on top of that, so it's like, not usually happy that a bee is in my direct vicinity. So, yeah. You know, I try to stay away from bees if I can. Anyone heard of Shinoda Conda? Oh boy. I don't know what is with all the condas, you guys. I'm guessing this is some sort of dick thing where it's like a Tumblr thing dedicated to pictures of celebrities who have tight pants on or something. But, you know, whatever floats your boat. Money Montserrat, hi. I don't think I said hi to you before. C.H. Mac. The sound Shah. Oh, make the sound Shah. Rocha, right. I'm allergic to bees. Bugs are terrifying, especially spiders. What about spiders? Yeah, I mean, I don't go near spiders. I usually leave spiders alive because a little bit of a cockroach problem in LA. Not gonna blame it on my apartment alone, but I've been to a lot of apartments in LA and there's a lot of cockroaches, so the more spiders there are, the less cockroaches. That's the hope anyways. And I'm not enthusiastic about having spiders crawling all over the place while I'm trying to sleep or whatever, but if it takes having a spider in the house to lessen the other bugs problem, then cool, I'll take that. What would you name a boat if you had one? Ooh, what would I name a boat if I had one? I would name a boat the... It's a good... I would never be on the boat, because I don't actually like being on boats. So I'd probably name it... The Mental Rental. Or the Soggy Hooer. The Nantucket Mistress is what I would call it. I don't know. I would name it Princess Guinevere III. The three of a kind. The fiefdom. I don't know. I don't want to name a boat. I have no idea what I would call it. Boaty McBoatface. Yeah, there you go. Perfect name for a boat. Hey, Kazara, welcome. Is your cat scared of bees? You know, I've never actually seen her interact with a bee, so I couldn't tell you, Zoe. She doesn't make it out too much. She stays in the apartment, and bees don't typically get in here, so. If she hears a fly, she'll, like, look up, but she won't chase after it because she can't see it. Shinoda plus anaconda snake. Right. It's the snake thing that I was asking about, Brianna. Usually when I hear reference to an anaconda, especially on a Tumblr site, it has to do with dicks rather than the actual snake. I would move if a spider was on my bed, and then I'd burn the house down. That much of a chicken. You've seen spiders in your house without burning it down, Fangirl Nation. Don't be dramatic. Nothing to do with dicks. I've been at a con for the last 5 days and on my way to the airport now. Post-con depression has already struck. Jeez, Kazara, it's only the beginning of con season. There's still like 50 more cons to go this season. Ever walked into a spider web before? Oh, absolutely I have. Who hasn't walked into a spider web? You'd have to be a crazy person not to. My girlfriend is like that, okay. Boat name, Liquid Therapy. Right. I don't know. Might get you a little problem with the Port Authority pulling you over because they think you're drinking and boating. Spiders are disgusting. Really am not fond of them. Even in Finland we don't have big poisonous spiders. Yeah, Amada, it's funny, Amada will like pick up a beetle or any other type of bug that's crawling around and carry it outside and throw it on the ground. Not hard, but, you know, release it into the wild. But she won't do that with spiders because somehow they're different than, like, a beetle or something, or a bee or whatever. Like, she'll handle other bugs, but not spiders. Boat name, Liquid Therapy. Spiders are disgusting. Probably smart about spiders. Have to kill them, but in return, I get kisses. Oh, I see. From the girlfriend. What is the weirdest injury you've ever gotten? I have an answer for that, but I'm not going to tell you guys that story because someone's going to flip out about it. When I was a kid, my brother had a couple of skateboards, and we lived on a street that was flat. It was pretty much flat, but if you got a skateboard that had real good bearings on it, and back in the like mid-90s, skateboards weren't like how they are today where the wheels are shaped like donuts. The wheels were shaped like spools, where they came out and they were flat, like they looked like perfect cornered cylinders and not rounded on the corners. And we had a certain skateboard that would, if you put it on the ground on our street, the street was just not level enough so you could sit on the skateboard and it would just roll all the way down, about a quarter of a mile down the street. So I used to just like go down the street on this skateboard and I'd sit on it and it would just take me all the way to the other end of the street. So my buddy lived down there and he had a driveway that was really steep, and we would ride our bikes down it and kind of turn around into this like dead end part of the street. So I was like, oh, I'll do that on the skateboard, and I would sit on a skateboard and just ride down and kind of get to the end of the street, and that was it. Well, I was barefoot that day, and I sat on the skateboard, and I'm coming down the driveway, and for one reason or another, I just felt like I needed to stop fast. And I put my foot down, big toe first, onto the asphalt. And I just, like, scraped off, like, a bunch of flesh from my big toe on the outside. And it's, like, days and days that it took to just, like, heal back up from this big circle of bloody skin toe meat. So that was one of the injuries that I've had ever. I really haven't had a ton of other injuries. Broke my ankle playing paintball once. I don't think I've ever broken anything else. Knock on wood. But yeah, that was one of the ones where it was like I can do without doing this again. So ever since then, I've worn pretty sturdy foot gear. Not a fan of any insects, arachnids, reptiles, birds, etc. Agreed, Brianna. Neither am I. If there was a movie made about your life, which actor would you have play you? Be like a Michael Cera type, I think. Probably a little. I mean, he would be an unknown, really. If there was a movie about me, who would play me? Maybe a lesbian. Maybe some kind of really talented female or female-bodied actor. I don't know. I have no idea who I would have play me. Like, that's up to the casting director. And I was just thinking about that today, where I'm like, if my life was a story, I don't think I would be the main character. I think I would be the sidekick in whatever story I'm featured in. It would be somebody else's story where I just happen to appear. So perhaps the casting decision would have to be made by somebody else. I know who would play my mom. I'm not even really sure. Let me see who. I think I know her name. Yeah, I would have Rachel Dratch play my mom. If that makes any difference to you. But as far as playing me, I have no idea. I wouldn't want anyone who's like famous or handsome or whatever. I'd want someone who's like got a reputation for being young and weird looking. Speaking of my mom, it's her birthday. It's also Marcy's birthday. Perfect cosplay. Shout out, happy birthday to both of those people, my mom and Marcy, who's always been so good to me, and Mark. I mean, not happy birthday to Mark, but thank you, Mark, for all of your friendship over the years. I'm not a fan of any insects. Okay, what am I? Fangirl Nation. How will you win a fight? How will win in a fight? Godzilla from the 90s versus Hulk. Godzilla, I think, wins just by pure mass. Hulk can't lift the thing that he's so much smaller than. He can go for the eyes and stuff, but I don't even know if Godzilla is really going to notice that. We don't really have that many spiders. Mostly wolves, foxes, mountain lions, bears. Yeah, those sound pretty dangerous, Fangirl Nation. In Paris, we have the most terrifying of all tourists, but non-French speaking tourists. Oh boy, Emily. That would be me if I ever went to France. I hope I'm not terrifying if I go to France. I would move to Montana, but I'm probably prone to getting bit by snakes, so I'll stay in the cold in Canada. Yeah, sometimes what you know is the best plan. Have you seen a daddy long-legged spider in person? Yeah, Zoe. We had those all over the place where I grew up in Rhode Island. I'm least afraid of daddy longlegs. They are so small. Like, they're tall, but like really the spider itself is only the size of like one of those pinheads. Like one of those plastic round things on the end of a pin for sewing. Sounds messed up. Hey Candace, I don't know if I said hi to you before. Might go to Quebec in the near future, but I don't speak French very well. Seems like a pretty necessary thing in Quebec. Only been once. Happy birthday. Did you hear about Notre Dame? Yeah, last Minwin, we've been talking about it for quite some time now. Yeah, we started talking about it when the broadcast first started. The roof just managed to save the bell towers. Just got here, so if someone already brought it up. Yeah, it's been quite the topic of conversation last Minwin. Happy birthday. His family just laughed at me. Have you ever heard a wolf spider get up and scream? I have not, Polar Bear King. It's... I didn't know wolf spiders could scream. I find that more unnerving than any other behavior they could possibly have. I feel like I'd rather get bitten than see a spider scream. I hate that. I hate thinking about it. Well, Emily, if I ever do go to France, I will surely let you know so that you can be my guide. Although I think Amada speaks a fair amount of French, so she might also be happy to do that for me. Have you seen a camel spider? They're so big. Yeah, those are the ones that look like horseshoe crabs. They look like I'm sorry, not horseshoe crabs, like crabs. They look like crabs. They're like that big. And I don't want that. I don't want that anywhere near me at all. Live near it. Yeah. One time I walked into the kitchen and the spider just stood up and screamed, then ran away. I have not seen that, but I'll tell you what I have seen. Or at least, no, I haven't seen it. Squirrel noises. I lived with a friend back a few years ago, and he told me about how he was walking home from his job, and it was raining, and there was a squirrel sitting beneath a tree or something, and it was crying. Just a squirrel going, chip, 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 chip. And I think that is the cutest thing in the world, because, well, it's not cute because he's crying. It's just cute because he's a little squirrel and he's making noises that we think looks like crying, and it reminds me of Sword in the Stone. So, no spider screams? No. Hard pass. Squirrel crying? Yeah, I'd watch that. I'd like to see that happen. Series of Unfortunate Events or Sweeney Todd, which is your favorite? I've only seen Series of Unfortunate Events. I've never seen Sweeney Todd. So, I gotta say Series of Unfortunate Events, even though it's not my favorite movie. What is a wolf spider? A wolf spider, I think, is just a big, fat, furry spider. I don't think it's as big as a tarantula, but it's a formidable looking spider. Honestly, hearing a spider scream would make me scream more than seeing the actual spider itself. Next time Amada is on, her and I shall have a chat. Yeah, Emily, I wouldn't quiz her on French, but she could probably, with a little practice, make her way around town. Look up a screaming frog. I'm not gonna do that, Juan. Peyton, hi Peyton. There's all sorts of screaming animals. Screaming goats, screaming frogs, screaming cats, llamas. A lot of screaming stuff. But speaking of French, there's actually a video of a guy who makes a cat talk in French, and he goes, "Man, ouvre la porte." And I like that video a lot because it's got a little kitty trying to get in the door, and the guy's like, "You can't come in here, kitty cat." And then in French, the cat's like, "I am a cat." There's a city in Brazil where it rains spiders. You can keep that away from me, Polar Bear King. Squirrel noises sound kind of funny. Yeah. Animals on auto-tune. Oh man, there's a video of a husky crying that's been auto-tuned. He's going, and I think that's really funny. Hanged out with a baby horse. Oh, that's pretty cute. Little foal. Is that what they're called, or is that deers? Whatever it is. A pony? A pony's a small horse. Yeah. Either way. I'm happy you get to see a baby horse. That sounds real cute and enjoyable. Baby horses are a joy to be around. Squirrels are practically dinner to hawks here. Yeah. Man, one time, Amada and I were walking back from getting ramen down the street from me, and I saw this pigeon just smash into the road and get run over by a truck. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? And then I looked up, and a hawk had like knocked it out of the air, and then it just left it to die on the ground because it was like, oh, well, now that pigeon's in the road with traffic running over it, I'm not going to go eat that pigeon. And I'm like, well, what a waste. There's a city in Honduras where it rains fish. I've been there and it's kind of cool. How is that possible, Polar Bear King? How do the fish get into the air? Is it like a tornado? You just get flung up into the air and then you end up with a fish sitting on your roof of your car? Because that sounds bloody and unpleasant. Emily Berry says it. Baguette. I would say croissant. That's my favorite French pastry term. They're tiny fish that get carried by very strong storms. I hate that. I don't want to eat fish. I'd rather just leave them in the ocean, do their thing. That way, the fish are happy, and I'm happy. If I could give up all the other meat, too, probably be pretty happy about that. But I'm just having too hard of a time with it. We also have red kite hawks, bald eagles, and many others. You got a lot of raptors in your area, Fangirl Nation. A lot of birds of prey. Pain. How do you spell pain? It's a French word for bread. Is it pain? Pain au chocolat? I've seen bird on bird cannibalism. Is it the same breed of bird though? Because birds can eat birds without it being cannibalism, I feel like. In the same way that if a wolf or a coyote kills a dog and eats it, it's not quite cannibalism. It's just two animals that kill each other. The cyclone picks the fish up. Yeah. Miniature baby horse. So it's probably only this big. Probably could have held it in your hand. It looked like a little baby deer. That would have been real cute. So guys, yeah, looks like we've been hitting our stride about 10 minutes before the hour every time we stream. And that's I'm comfortable with that. So again, if anyone wants to send the fan art, be sure to read the description. The P.O. box number is in there. Pain au chocolat. I always put that extra syllable. Chocolat. Ducks are violent creatures. Ducks on my neighborhood kill rival ducks. Oh. I hate it when animals kill each other. Deer, bunnies, cats. That's nice, Fangirl Nation. I like seeing all those guys. Those are petting animals, and I like that. So like I was saying, if you want to send fan art, feel free to send it. Just let me know it's coming, or else I'll never go and pick it up because I'm lazy and I don't get out much. But we'll get together again on Monday. In the meantime, if you're in Southern California and you have nothing to do on Saturday, come out to Anime Pasadena, and I'll be there, and I'll meet you. And if you're free tonight, much later tonight, from probably 4 hours from now until 7 hours from now, so 8 p.m. to 11 p.m., I'm going to be on twitch.tv/ScabbyRooster on Total Party Kills, playing Pathfinder as a Displacer Beast named Dirk Remington, who's helping keep a dungeon free of adventurers. So tune into that, and hopefully we'll get a couple jokes in, you know, make some fart noises and stuff, and I'll wear little kitty ears. That'd be nice. Also, Wednesdays I'll be doing Dimension Dorks as always, so if you're free for that, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Dimension Dorks is happening, and that's what's happening. Gonna go to sleep now, working all day. Bye, Emmy. Have a good night. Everyone else as well: Zoe, Emily, Christina, Fangirl Nation, Polar Bear King, Brianna, Peyton, Juan. That's everybody that's currently in front of me. Star-Lord. We will see you next time, next Monday, and I'll tell you how Anime Pasadena went, and maybe I'll tell you about some other stuff I got going on that day. Is it that day? I think it is. So, we'll see you then. You know the deal. Miss you. Love you. Bye.